What's up, everyone? Zach here, and I'm just going to bring you weapon of choice and pattern for it for sticks I'm using this year. Decided to share it because it's a popular header on the market right now, and I think that the way I have it strung, it works really well for me, and I think it could work really well for some other people as well. So the stick I'm playing with this summer, and probably for a while, a lot longer, is the String King Mark 1. This is on, I've got two of them on both of them are on East Coast Ice carbon shafts. This one was one of the more first generation that came, or the first editions that came out. Taped halfway up, like I have it for all my sticks. Kind of threw that off of my box play, as well as complete thrown fiber system up top. I play two-way midfielder, so a lot of offense, a lot of defense. The Mark 1 is perfect for it. It's stiff enough to play defense. It's great shape for offense and defense. It's just an all-around a great head for all levels of play and all positions. And the best part is that it's only $69.99 unstrung. So you can buy a couple of these, get them strung yourself, or get them strung by other people, and still not have paid quite as much as you would if you bought a $100 head and then had it strung by a stringer or purchased the materials yourself to string it. So going in real quick to, I'll do a more complete head review of the Mark 1 later, but as well as the mesh that's in here. The mesh that's in here is the complete thrown fiber system. This colorway is taken from Thrones, so it was inspired by Thrones' stick that he strung up for Prague, the Animagic Centric U that he dyed up, but obviously I didn't dye this one. This one's factory matte black, and then I just kind of took the colorway. So it's got the cobalt stripe spectrum mesh with blue cobalt strings going all the way around, one black shooter and a white nylon. Thrones has white shooter, black nylon, but that combination isn't available, so I decided to keep it this way, and it adds my own kind of little flair to it. I'll give you the pattern for this pocket so that if you just want to know what the pattern is and kind of see the pocket shape, you can try it out. But I'll talk about why I like it after I give the pattern. So I'll be able to, so that's this one. It'll be easier to show you on my other stick because the colors are a little bit easier to see. So this is my backup stick. It is a Team Poland themed Mark 1 on the newer matte white East Coast Ice carbon shafts. Same shape job, exact same pocket. There's only one difference, and it's something that's not going to actually really affect the throwing all that much. So this one has the red ruby spectrum mesh in it, red all the way around, red shooter, white nylon, and so forth. So the pattern for this is pretty simple, I would say. So it's a 9-diamond triangle top string tied to the second sidewall hole, and the top string is on the top, or the triangle top is on the top. You're going to skip, and you're going to tie the first 10-diamond row to the fourth sidewall hole. You're going to skip, anchor knot, skip, knotted SI, knotted SI, skip, knotted SI, 9-diamond knot into a knotted stacked SI, tie, 1, 1, 1 while skipping a hole, 1 while skipping a hole and tying off in the throat with a throat string on the next, or on the same 10-diamond row that you tied that last one going down to the throat on. What this gives you is a very solid mid pocket. The Mark 1 is really good for mid pockets because it's designed for the M1 pocket, the String King's M1 pocket off the U-string, which is their mid pocket. You can put a really nice mid-low or low pocket in this, or even a higher pocket, but I find that mid works best for me. I like to think of myself more as a utility player, so a player that can do pretty much everything, and this pocket really allows you to do that well. You can see that has nice definition, nice depth, and then the channel is just perfect for me. It's not the tightest channel in the world, but it's pretty tight compared to what I see most people using. I would say it's slightly looser than Chris from Mainly Mesh's kind of standard Mainly Mesh patterns. Only difference here is I like to have, it still has a pretty tight channel, and the ball is hugged for the most part, but with the channel just being a little bit looser, you're able to throw fakes and get the ball out of your stick easier instead of having it snagged in that channel, and I find that it sits nicely a little bit higher. So the reason why the string works really well for me, and I think it will work well for other people, is that it's a really great, easy, low whip passing stick because the channel isn't super tight around it, so it's not going to snag a lot. And then there is a, because of the catch point in this stick, you're going to get a lot of good accuracy and smooth release when you're throwing, or you're doing quick sticks, or things that you need a smooth release on and quick release. However, when you really get your hands back and get ready to take a shot, the ball's going to sit really nice in the pocket, and it's going to push up and snag and have a catch point just below this shooter on the 9 diamond rail. With the 9 diamond knot and the knotted stacked SI, it's really going to limit how high that pushes up. If you were to if you were to put a stacked SI instead of a knotted stack, you're going to get a lot more of a catch point and higher whip, I find, or slightly higher because the knot, because without the knot in it, the mesh is able to push a little bit further, stretch a little bit further into a into the stacked SI and create a more severe angle. This with a 90 knot and a knotted stacked SI really limits it, so it's the perfect amount of whip for me, just enough to get some really good power, and for the way I shoot, because I grew up playing more box, or played more box than I do field. I'm much more of a bottom hand shooter where I'm mostly pulling down with this bottom hand and snapping it at the very top of the release with my top hand. For me, this allows me to get the most power on my shot, and because the bottom hand's doing all the pulling, I can easily change the release of the ball, or at least I found that's the way it makes it easier for me. You can throw with this more top hand or both hands and still have the same amount, but it really is controlled by the bottom hand for me, so that works out the way it is. So again, just give you another shot of that channel, another shot of the pocket. I talked about there was a difference between these two sticks. The difference is that this has a shooter in the throat and this one doesn't. That's for two reasons. First off, is I ran out of string while stringing this one. For some reason, I just didn't allocate the amount of string right. But I found that the shooter really doesn't make a difference. If anything, it makes it softer carry one-handed, but it doesn't really affect the throwing. And that this pattern does work with East Coast mesh. Not East Coast mesh, East Coast Hero mesh semi-soft. Haven't tried it with a semi-hard mesh yet, or String King, but I'm planning on picking up a String King complete stick and reviewing that with the pocket that it comes strung with, and then restringing it with my pocket and seeing how well that does. But for now, these ones will do me just fine. So comment below if you try out the pattern. Comment if what you think of the sticks I'm using, and such. Let me know if there's anything else you want to see. I've got a lot of heads with some patterns that I think are pretty good in it, and I'll be sharing those along with it. So thanks for joining me, and have a nice day, everyone.